What's up, guys? So I've seen Dreg do a couple of these things, and I think they're pretty cool. So what I've done here is I've arrayed um, a tier listing from S to A to B to C to D to F to burn it with fire, and I've got what I've ascertained to be the only 24 major kind of sects of esotericism or of religion that I really care to even mention. I'm sure there's a lot more, and you guys might be autistically reading in the background that I haven't added them. Sorry, not sorry. This is my channel, and this is my world, so I get to decide it. So, I'm just gonna start with my tradition, which is Buddhism. So let's start with we got Theravada Buddhism here. I'm gonna put Theravada Buddhism. I'm gonna put it C tier because honestly, excuse me, honestly, I'm a Mahayana Buddhist, and we have a lot of pejorative terms for the Hinayana, the small vehicle. Um, this isn't real Buddhism. When you see these guys with the orange robes and shave heads, that's not. It's not. It looks like real Buddhism. It looks like it, but it really isn't. That's not the true intention of the Buddha's message and his mind transmission. The message of his mind transmission wasn't to, you know, take phenomena to be truly real, and so to try to avoid them by living like a hermit and a monk. There's a lot of metaphors, like in the Lotus Sutra, that there were three kids playing in a house that was on fire and was full of ghosts, and the father wanted to save them, so he lured them out with three different types of toys. And so those toys were like the Shravaka vehicle, the Pratyeka vehicle, and the other vehicle. So Theravada Buddhism gets a C in in my rankings, definite C, because it's meh. It's good. It's a great beginner's way to draw you towards the Dharma, but it's not the ultimate purport of the Dharma. The ultimate purport of the Dharma is just that the unconditioned nature is permeating everything, and your mind unified with that is enlightenment. Not to avoid and make all these like rules and treat phenomena as if they're actually real. And so Theravada Buddhism gets a C for me. Hinayana, small vehicle, unlike great vehicle. Mahayana, all one. So we're on the uh, the theme of Buddhism. Let's go with Mahayana Buddhism. Here we got a nice Chinese Buddhist monk here. I'll put that on A tier because I believe that Mahayana Buddhism. I should have added Zen to this. Just leave Zen there also, but just traditional Chinese like Eastern Mahayana Buddhism general. You can put Zen on there also. I I would put Zen also on A. I wouldn't put it on S tier, so I'll leave Mahayana and Zen on A tier because because they truly grasped the inner purport of the Buddha's teachings, the the true nature of the mind, its unity with the three kayas, the sense fields, the the proper way to activate your mind so that it turns into a Buddha, or the delineation between that as an sentient being. Mahayana goes much higher philosophically than its basis in Theravadayana. Um, any Mahayana sutra just spends hella time just dabbing on Theravada. Like the all of the good Mahayana sutras, like Vimalkirti Sutra, Platform Sutra, God, any of them, Lotus Sutra, half of the time they spend is just dabbing on the Theravadas and showing why that they're totally mistaken about um, the things that they're still attached and clinging to, that they think they're trying to get rid of, which aren't inherently real at all. And there's no getting rid of them. It's more of just a matter of being able to abide in upekkha, or equanimity, while jostled between the polar forces of klesha. Mahayana Buddhism. Uh, I've been a Mahayana Buddhist for coming on almost like 9, 10 years. The philosophy, going back to Chandrakirti and Nagarjuna, is the highest of all philosophy in the world, period. If you ever spend your time, rolling your brain over what Chandrakirti and Nagarjuna had to say, it's gonna completely change the way that you look at phenomena in reality. You will never see phenomena in reality the same way again. And I find myself unable really to even have a serious religious conversation with anybody that hasn't taken the time to do these things, or that makes simple logical mistakes when they're talking about phenomena. Just like my brain can't even process it anymore. So yeah, Mahayana goes. Let's just put it on S tier. Yeah, it's on S tier. Right. All right. Before we approach my own faith, which I'm not going to talk too much about it. Um, let's do Pure Land Buddhism. Pure Land Buddhism to me gets uh, uh that's hard. Where does Pure Land Buddhism go? Yeah, I'm gonna put it C also, and right next to Theravada, because it is heretical. Um, I've read a really good book called River Fire, River Water about some of the deep kind of takes that they have in Pure Land Buddhism, but it's very unorthodox. It's not Orthodox Buddhism. It's a weird sect that Japan is just famous for these weird sects of Buddhism for some reason. Um, there is a lot of good stuff in there. It's basically Buddhist Christianity, but and yeah, sure, you could say, you know what, fine, B, I'll give it a B, because you can say that it is skillful means, and that's all that matters in Mahayana is skillful means. So if you rely on Amitabha's vow, if that's what your thing is and that's what you rely on, and you think that the power of his vow has the ability to transform you, then I guess that's just skillful means. So fine, I'll do that. We'll put that on B territory. Vajrayana, of course, is going on S tier. If I could make a higher tier, I would. Vajrayana Buddhists are literally the highest adepts in the cosmos. Shambhala is literally Tibet, and literally these left-hand path tantrikas, bodhisattvas are here in the Kali Yuga especially. They're powerful in the Kali Yuga especially, so that they can use this place as a training ground. All of the duality and the shadows and lights of the Kali Yuga is for these very special types of beings that come to these places like this in the Kali Age and reveal the Dharma and keep the Dharma and subjugate demons and prepare for the final war with the lesser with the Abrahamic religious mind virus type people in the Great Shambhala War when Kalki returns out of Shambhala. So Vajrayana is the absolute highest tier uh, of anything to do with religion, shamanism, tantra, all of it, philosophy. It's all there. It's all there as much as you can take it. All right, done with Buddhism. Let's go into Hinduism. Hinduism, we'll start with Shaivism. Shaivism, to me, that can go on A tier, even above Pure Land. Shaivism and Mahayana Buddhism have a very intimate relationship, especially when it comes to Tantra. Shaivism, um, to me, Hinduism in general is like an outside looking in thing, and Buddhism is more like an inside looking out. Like Shaivism, Hinduism, it's like here are methods for liberation. Here's how you attain liberation. And then the Mahayana path is like, especially Vajrayana. It's like, okay, I'm liberated now. Now, how do I go back into samsara to liberate others? So Shaivism to me is great. A lot of Hindus watch my videos, so no, putting it on A tier for sure. Shaivism is what largely that Tantra came out of. So Shaivism had a lot to do with the yogis out here that were really doing the thing and you know, evolving themselves and paving the way for others through yoga and through, different types of yoga and tantra and whatnot. So we have the Shaivas to thank for a lot of these mystical practices that we enjoy that come out of the Eastern religion. And I might disagree. Of course, us Vajrayanikas and Shaivites are going to disagree, and we have disagreed for 1,000 years. But it's kind of like a respectful sportsman-like disagreement. We just have a different philosophy. We have a different way of seeing the universe. Of course, ours is superior, so it goes in the S tier. Second Hindu sect, we have the Vaishnavas. Well, I mean, if I'm gonna put the Pure Land Buddhists there, I might as well put the Vaishnavas there, right? Why not? Vaishnavas, they have differing views of whether the God is dual or completely dual, or whether there's sort of a little bit kind of dualness and unity going on, but they have a much more non-dual view of the universe and a much more deep view of the cosmos than the Abrahamic religions, so they can still be on the B tier. Sorry, I'll try to keep this video from being an hour long while I fucking rant over every little thing. Rest of Hinduism, what do we got? Okay, we have Shaktism. Shaktism. Shaktism is Tantra. Like, yeah, Shaktism can go in A tier. Absolutely. Shri Vidya, all that stuff. I fuck with it. Tantra, everything that is created Tantra immediately belongs at least A tier. Of course, Vajrayana is superior, but either way. Almost all of the Shakti people that I've met are Tantrikas, and I, as a Tantrika, also deeply venerate the yoginis and deeply venerate the Devi and the goddess. I practice a yogini tantra, so I'm a big devotee of the yogini. So I have to put it at the A tier because she is who gives you the Kundalini energy. So Shaktism has correctly identified the source of enlightenment, although all these are very intimate, really related also on the top here. I put in Gaudiya Vaishnavism also. Yeah, Hare Krishnaism. It could be up here. It could be up here. It started out up here. It began up here. Where's it at now? It's down here. Okay, so Gaudiya Vaishnavism, when it started, up here. I really believe that there are tantric elements within that, involving like the rasa lila with the divine love, sexual love, different types of love between Krishna and Radha that are incredibly profound tantric truths. So I believe that Chaitanya, when he came up here, absolutely spread a incredibly high tantric sect that then fell down and fell down and fell down. So I'm gonna have to put it. Here's where it's at right now. Unfortunately, it hurts my heart to do it, but that's where it's at right now. They've completely lost the source of their religion. All right, so while we're on the subcontinent, we have Sikhism. Sikhism, Sikhism is a. Oh, it's not a C. I put definitely. Where am I gonna put Sikhism? Um, it can go A. Yeah, it can go A tier. Sikhism is a blend. It come from a certain time in the history of the subcontinent where you had a lot of syncretism going on, like Kabir Panth, Sufism. You had a lot of syncretic stuff popping off on the subcontinent around the time when the Muslims invaded. So Sikhism sought to kind of create a new way, or I should say that Guru Nanak sought to create a new way. Not a new way, but a way forward that it has all the tenets that make a great world religion. I have nothing against Sikhism. Sikhism is awesome. I love Sikhism. There's a popular meme on 4chan. Sikhs are based. I've heard that over and over and over again. So there's a lot of love between people like me and Sikhism. I think Sikhism is awesome. It blends mysticism with stoicism, with the warrior masculine spirit. It's a really cool amalgamation of Sufism and Islam. Um, and also, interesting point that there's a lot of Tibetans that go and visit the Golden Temple in Amritsar in India because apparently when Guru Nanak was alive, he went to not Kashmir, but somewhere around that region in northwestern India, and he encountered some Vajrayana Buddhists, and the Tibetans there recognized Guru Nanak as an incarnation of Padmasambhava. So they believe that Padmasambhava and Guru Nanak were one and the same person. So they venerate him as basically Buddha. Um, Only thing, it's the thing about Sikhism, which is really interesting. It's I think, a very ethnic based religion. I could never take a white person who became a Sikh seriously unless they were super serious about it. But it's a very ethnic based religion for a specific time frame. But one of the things that I do enjoy about religions like Sikhism is that, or Sufism, or even Islam, is that they have found a way to kind of live a moral life like in the world while still holding on to religious tenets and even mystical tenets. And one of the things that I could critique about Buddhism is that it focuses so much on the supernatural and the beyond, the beyond, the beyond, the beyond, the beyond, that it never really set up, well, depending on different cultures, but it's not really geared for living in samsara because, of course, the goal is to not do that. But so I guess that's the difference between like Brahmins and Kshatriya. So as the Sikhism the religion is like Kshatriya religion, and Buddhism is like a Brahmin religion. So it depends on what kind of lifestyle that you like and how developed that your soul is, and whether you're really ready for the ultimate reality or whether that you would prefer something a little bit more comfy that helps you get by in life and has a community. I guess that's the difference. Okay, we got Jainism. Jainism can go right on the big poopy F tier. Jainism are a bunch of extremist heretics that should have been Buddhists a long time ago. I honestly don't even know why that they still exist. They're so extreme in their beliefs. I mean, it evolved alongside Buddhism, and Buddha just totally rejected it because of the extremism of what they do. They carry around little fucking brushes, so when they sleep, they don't have to fucking accidentally squish a bug, and they wear masks so that they don't accidentally breathe in a bug. Like that's just that level of ahimsa or nonviolence. It's just silly. It's silly, and it's a misunderstanding of what karma is. Karma is like you accidentally breathe in a bug, or you accidentally I don't know, fuck, you cook the pizza too hot and serve it to somebody and they burn your mouth. Are you making bad karma for yourself? No. What matters is mens rea, just like we do in American legal system. Mens rea, guilty mind. What was your mind state when you did the action? That's where karma comes from, not from accidentally breathing in a bug. So I wouldn't put Jainism into burn it with fire territory, but I will put it in F tier because they should have become Buddhists a long time ago, and there's no reason for them to keep carrying on like this. Just very silly. But yeah, if you're gonna be an ascetic, then you might as well join the religion that actually understands the Dharma properly. Anything else in the subcontinent? Ah, yes, we do. We have Agora. Agora goes immediately into S tier. Aghoris are the Aghoris are the real deal. Aghoris said, "Fuck you, samsara." Aghoris turned their karma on their heads. Aghoris, Aghoris, they get magical powers out of Kali. They thrive in the Kali age. Aghoris are the real children of God in the Kali age. Even us in Vajrayana, we've degenerated to doing visualizations about all these scary things with palaces made out of skulls and flaying corpses with fucking knives and shit. In Vajrayana, it's been reduced to just visualizations. The Aghoris are still doing the damn thing. So, have to put them in S tier. Absolutely, mad respect for the Aghoris. Because the goal of life isn't to live a good life. The goal of life is to escape your karma and your mental conditioning. And these guys are like fucking took it damn seriously. So the whole thing with like the whole Kapalika cult and Tantra, like apparently it started because God, I had to go in this mythos. What is it? Gotta go into the myth. To kill a Brahmin, if you committed the sin of killing a Brahmin, you were forced to like live in the woods forever and eat and cover yourself in dust and you'd carry around the skull of the Brahmin with you as a begging bowl for the rest of your life and live as an outcast. So Aghoris and Tantrikas in general, both Buddhists and Hindus, they kind of took that as like a metaphor for people who are enlightened, I guess, or people who have these like subtle energies who are outcasts of society. So they're like, okay, you want me to be an outcast? I'm gonna take this and make it into like a whole ass like archetype of what it means to be an outcast in society, where all these people only care about their castes and their daily bread and butter and whatnot. She's like, no, 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 no. I'm gonna activate all this Kundalini stuff, and I'm gonna live like a freak of nature, because that's what you fucking see me as. Yeah, so Agori is absolutely based. I was talking to somebody earlier and they said you should just make this into a based meter. Well, it's basically what it is. Okay, so I think we've hit the Eastern religions. We got Sufism, it's kind of Eastern. Let's do Islam. Okay, let's do Islam. Alright, we got Sunnism. And I know you guys that Sunnism, these are Wahhabis, so Sunnism, uh, I'm gonna give it a D, bro, honestly. I would give it an F, but like I said, I do admire the way that they manage to keep their societies in order and apply religious law to make healthy communities. And I'm sure that it was much different when Muhammad was alive, and can't doubt them, can't discount them for the way that they've managed to preserve their culture and preserve their society and to make it somewhat holy, even in the midst of the shit that we're going through right now, and the beginning of the depths of the Kali Yuga. Just not a fan of the theology. The theology, arguing with a Muslim, I would rather take my balls and slam them in a car door than argue with a Muslim. It's just the most obnoxious experience to ever have. They have their book, they know it's right because they have their book and they know it's right. It's just theologically just fucking can't stand Islam at all, but I do have to admit that they managed to keep their society together living a religious life. So that's about all I have to say about Sunni Islam. Couldn't really give a damn about it, honestly. As long as they're not over here, then leave me alone. You can do your weird desert shit over there. Shia Islam. I'm gonna put Shia up on B tier. Because Shiism is like, it's like crypto fucking Hindu kind of Persian mysticism. Like, these guys they say that all their mysticism comes from Ali. And the more that I read up the story, like the Hadith of the Pand al Qum, the more that I am on the side of Ali, and I think that Ali was wronged by the early Sunnis. So I love Ali. I think Ali is great. If you listen to Ali's quotes, a lot of Ali's quotes are just, they're all very mystical and beautiful. Love Ali. And so they have this mystical tradition that they say that comes from Ali. And most Sufi traditions actually apparently are drawn forth from Shiism. So I'm a big fan of, I have a couple friends that are Shias. Only reason why I wouldn't rate it higher is because, like, dude, you're kind of just couching Islam in some other shit and pretending that it's Islam. Like, don't lie, bro. You know damn well that you borrowed a lot of this stuff from other religions. So, B tier. All right, last one for Islam, Sufism. Sufism gets S tier. I'm gonna put it on S tier. If you don't think that Sufism deserves an S tier, just go read Rumi and Shams. Sufism is the highest essence of Mediterranean thought, Neoplatonism, um, Western religious thought, highest thought of monotheism, highest expression of monotheism in my opinion, and it's beautiful. I was very close to becoming a Sufi in the Naqshbandi Tariqa. Um, what to say about Sufism? Perfect blend of mysticism and practical, real life application. Um, Definitely inherited some mysticism from, the subcontinent, from India and whatnot over time. Um, they don't really give a shit about what normal Muslims think of them, and the Sufis are responsible for spreading Islam to places like Indonesia. It's why that you have so many Muslims down there is because the Sufis were able to bring a more mystical version of Islam that felt more comfortable to the Hindus and Buddhists that formerly occupied those areas. So Sufism is a very ascetic and powerful tradition which has inherited basically the best of everything from the west to the east. Like they put it all into one package. Big fan of Sufism. All right, let's do Christianity. Christianity. Okay, so we got Protestantism. This is the only one that goes into the burn it with fire. Protestantism needs to be burned with fire. You are basically relying upon the early church fathers to um, teach you the Bible by reading, the letters that they wrote to the various churches that formed the New Testament, and still you're denying their apostolic tradition. You're denying the traditions that arose and the commentaries and the wisdom, all of the wisdom that arose out of the early Latin period, and you say, you know what? I just need my relationship with Christ Jesus. That's all I need. Just have to have my relationship, my personal relationship with Christ Jesus. To me, that's not even a religion. It's just like superstitious bullshit. I hate Protestantism, and I apologize to you if you're a Protestant. You should find a better version of Christianity. Speaking of which, Orthodoxy. We're going to put Orthodoxy on. Should we? God, I gotta put it on B tier. Sorry, bros. I would put it a little bit higher if they emphasize their mysticism a little bit more, but ah, ah, God, I can't leave it down there with Shiism. Okay, Orthodoxy can go on A tier. Orthodoxy is what Christianity has flowered and fruitioned into over the last 2,000 years. Orthodoxy is the fruit of Christianity, and it's preserved the beautiful traditions from Constantinople. It's preserved a lot of very deep mystical traditions, a lot of very deep um, wisdom about the nature of reality, the nature of the soul, the nature of God, and whatnot. I'm a big fan of Orthodoxy. No problem with these guys. There's also a version of Orthodox yoga called like Hasikhism. I forget the name of it, but basically some Orthodox priests like had a Kundalini experience, like trapped up in like a room sometime, and basically like randomly invented like Tantra. So, big love for my Orthodox brothers. Catholicism. Oh God, man. Ugh. I'm gonna put you C tier. Catholicism, how you have fallen off since Vatican II. You're a big fucking mess. You would have been higher if you did not just become so political and just fall off from Vatican II. Like, Catholicism is just a big fucking mess right now, and probably the similar reason why the Gaudiya Vaishnavism is down here instead of up here is that there's something unstable. There is an unstable element within the religion that both of them that allowed them to fall so far to where they are right now. So my family, my dad's family from a Catholic country, from South America, from Peru. Um, my grandma was Catholic. She's a wonderful woman. No, nothing against Catholics, but there's this big political split that doesn't even need to exist. Like the Catholics are the heirs to the teachings of Christ and to the apostles. There's no reason why that they should be so hung up on politics and bullshit. And notwithstanding all the excuse me, notwithstanding all the controversies and whatnot about Catholicism's involvement in history and like the animosity between them and the Freemasons and what they may or may not have been plotting and all the spooky woo woo stuff. The religion itself is what I'm reading, and it gets a C for me. Anglicanism. I know nothing about Anglicanism. I'm just gonna put it as a C. I don't even know why I included it. I just was trying to think of another type of Christianity, so I have no idea why I put it there. Oh, I left one. Islam. Okay, my bad. Backtracking, going back to Islam. Wahhabism or Salafism. You go right down there with Protestantism. Ironically, because Sheikh Imran Hussein basically calls them fucking Islamic Protestants, like meaning that they've totally left the fold of their religion and decided for themselves that they have the true thing. Wahhabis are the guys they call takfiris sometimes, the guys that you say, "Oh, you're not a real Muslim," and they think that they're living in they want to recreate the original conditions of the prophet from 7th century fucking Arabia. So they live mentally in 7th century Arabia. I bet you guys are looking at some of these pictures and wondering what the fuck is left. Yeah, so Wahhabis definitely need to be burned with fire along with the Protestants. Both of these guys burn it with fire tier. Jainism can stay, but these guys burn it with fire. Alright, so Judaism. Let's look at Judaism. Orthodox Judaism. Not that bad of a religion. Honestly, they keep their community together. It goes in the same kind of. They have some mystical practices also. You know what? I'm even put it up with Shiism. To me, they're tangentially related. It's this B tier is very strange. So we've got Pure Land Buddhism, Vaishnavism, Shiaism, and Orthodox Jewry. So uh, think anybody who knows the connections between these religions, take a little think about why they ended up here in the B tier. Because they do have like this kind of mystical thing within them. They do have a mystical tendency, but I'm not a dualist, so I don't focus so much on dualism, and I think that you lose sight of the ultimate when you focus too heavily on dualism. So I'm not going to give them any higher ranking or lower ranking, but they do keep their community together. Um, their religious practices are they're very devoted to their religion. It's basically all they care about, which that's what you should only really care about. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about the Orthodox. Don't know way too much about it to me to say anything more. People might have a different opinion with me. Some of my right wing friends are going, "How can you say this?" Just you have to really take a step back and like look at what the Haredim are for their community and for their religion. As long as they're just leaving us alone, right? Kabbalah goes into S tier. Kabbalah is divine revelation. Kabbalah is just fucking nuts. Kabbalah is has defined Western mysticism for I don't know how long. Kabbalah has been like Sufism, an amalgamation of Western, Mid Eastern, Near Eastern rather thought for God, we don't even know how long. Kabbalah is as deep as you can understand it, and yeah, um, it makes the Bible even almost make sense if you view the Bible in the terms of like the Zohar and whatnot. Kabbalah is an incredibly profound and deep and mystical Western tradition of things that we have in yoga, like meditation, like the idea of chakras and wheels and things like this, and divine planes and divine places to go and fly and divine vehicles and divine bodies and definitely worth studying Kabbalah if you ever get the chance. I recommend Israel Regardie. He's great. So, with the theme of Western occultism, I kind of not really Western occultism, but let's go with Western occultism. Thelema, Thelema, burn it with fire. All you Thelemites can suck my dick. Excuse me. Aleister Crowley was a fad degenerate who butt fucked his friends and was a rapist. Crowley is a black magician. Thelema is a black magic. Black magicians can burn in hell. No, there is nothing redeeming about Thelema. Um, you're a wannabe sorcerer, and you're not. Okay. Yeah. Religion comes out of the purity of your heart, and the power of your magic comes out of the purity of your heart. It doesn't come from stupid ass rituals that you and your friends do while you're, partying. Speaking of that, we've got the New Age. New Age. Where do we put the New Age? The poor New Age. Do 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 do. Do we burn it with fire, guys? Do we burn the New Age with fire? F tier, absolutely. New Age is just escapism. A D. I'll give it a D tier. Fine. New Age is just God. What can I say about the New Age? They don't want to put in any work. They think that the goal is to just uh, not be mentally ill, even though that they end up becoming hella mentally ill regardless. Like God, what have I not said about the New Age is probably a better question. What have I not said about the New Age movement? These guys, it's just like they take an amalgamation of different, traditions, and they refuse to stick to a one path because they think that they're deathly afraid of authority, even though that they constantly follow cult figures. The daddy and the mommy issues in New Agers are just ridiculous, and it seems to me that just like their ultimate goal is just to I don't know, feel some kind of feels. I don't know what New Ageism is about. It's like a cult. It's just a very weird expression of like the early dissemination of Eastern mysticism into the West through things like Theosophy Society and shit like, the psychedelics influencing the people in the 60s, the boomers and stuff. these people, they hate authority. They hate authority, and they think that life is just fucking constant fucking drug induced pleasure, and they don't think about what happens after they die, or they don't care. They think that the earth is gonna ascend, or that aliens are gonna save them, or whatever that it is. They're not serious people, and they don't do serious work on themselves. Especially when it comes to integrating their shadow. That's why they're always talking about negativity, negativity, because these people abide in a state of artificial purity. New Ageism in general is just a very fancy amalgamation of, I don't know, alternative psychotherapy and mental illness. I don't know what to call the New Age, but it gets we give it a D because at least they're trying. They're trying. So the last one we got shamanism, which is definitely better than New Ageism. I'm gonna put shamanism on A tier because entheogens are where it's at, psychedelics are where it's at. These guys have been at the root of our civilizations for thousands and thousands of years, taking the plants and drumming and providing the rudimentary elements of mysticism, which then kind of blossomed into what possibly could have been the higher religious movements. So props to the shamans for being mediators between the spirit world and the material world, and providing the archetypal framework for our ancestors to begin cultivating these higher orders of religion once we invented the ability to write things down. All right, so all 24 have been ranked. So let's check this out. What do we got? S tier, S tier, Mahayana Buddhism, S tier. Vajrayana Buddhism, S tier. Aghori, S tier. Sufism, S tier. Kabbalah, S tier. Shaivism, A tier. Shaktism, A tier. Sikhism, A tier. Orthodoxy, A tier. Shamanism, A tier. B. Pure Land Buddhism, B tier. Vaishnavism, B tier. Shiism, B tier. Orthodox Jewry, B tier, honestly. C tier. Theravada Buddhism, C tier. Catholicism, C tier. Anglicanism, I don't even know what it's about, but just gonna put it on C tier just from the little that I do know about it. Getting into the flunking range. Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the Hare Krishnas, D tier. Sunni Islam, D tier. That's funny how those three lined up against one another. New Agers, D tier. F tier, Jains. Get a better religion. Burn it with fire tier, Protestantism, Wahhabism, Thelema, and also most of Western occultism. So, thank you for joining me for this tier ranking of the world religions. I am Shaktipat02, and I hope you will like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, help me to increase my reach so I can make better content for you and be motivated to do it. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a good day.